Hi, everybody. Welcome back to the Luxury Live Show. With me here is my co-host, Fashion Bee Amy. Hi, everybody. We see comments already. And yeah, it's good to see everyone
Sorry, I'm
here.
just trying to
Thank
grab
you
the
for joining
cable
us.
that fell on the floor. Otherwise, my laptop's gonna die.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Plug it in.
Yeah,
Plug
it
it in.
just fell off.
Oh, I should bring my thing in as well. All
But
right.
you guys can go ahead. I'm still here. Just need to plug
Okay,
it back
so
in.
yeah, if you're new to this luxury live show, welcome. The first time we do this every week, and we've been doing it every week for the past year. Um, Alternatively on our channel. So this week's on my channel, next week's gonna be on Amy's channel. So make sure you subscribe to both of us so that you don't miss out on all the luxury topics. Wow, lots of comments. Okay, what do we have today? So the title is Let's Talk About Fine Jewelry. We have been getting so many questions. I mean, not in one video, but I think in many, many videos from our unboxings, our lives, our chats, various questions, why did you buy it? What is the price? How do you style it? Which finger do you wear it on? So we thought we just do a show and tell um, of our fine jewelry, as well as share a little bit of why we purchased it. If we can remember the prices, we'll also talk about that and how we wear these items. So yeah, I've been buying my fine jewelry since last year. Amy started this year, so we're actually really, really new to it. So if any of you, I mean, some of you out there, I'm sure, are also buying fine jewelry, maybe buying fine jewelry longer than us, like Clara is here, can also share and we'll have a chit chat, right? So I'm gonna let Amy start with any of the pieces.
Okay. Thank you, Kat. So yeah, I think I remember very, very distinctly. There was one comment. I should have wrote down your name, but she was like asking us to do a live show of all our jewelry and just like talk about why we chose the style, whatnot. So here we go. So I have a total of 4 pieces right now on my fingers and arm. So let me see, which one should I talk about first? I think maybe the love
Yeah.
bracelet, since this is probably one of the most uh I guess like a lot of people are still interested and want to know if they should buy it, what size. So the love bracelet, I'm so glad. Like it's the love. I think of all the 4 pieces, the love bracelet is probably my favorite piece. That is worth every single penny already. I wear it. I want to say 24/7, but like I do take it off once a week for when I do heavier chores, or like if I just want to just avoid any accidents, then I take it once a week. I take it off. But what I love about the small size, so this is the thinner version, small size rose gold. What I love about this is that it's easy to take off. So compared to the version that Kat has, which she's going to talk about, so the one that she has comes apart in 2 pieces. This one, it's 1 screw on one side and there's a hinge, so it's very, very easy to take off. I think they still recommend that you don't take it off super often, just because the screws can still loosen up over time. But once a week, I think that's okay. Um, what else? I think styling wise, for me, I've always had an issue finding a bracelet that fits my wrist. I mentioned it in a couple of my Q&As that the main challenge for my wrist is not only the size is very small, but the width this way is very, very narrow. So even though this is the smallest size, this is the 15 centimeter love bracelet, it can still turn on both my wrists, but I'm wearing it on my bigger wrist already, so it can turn, but I have to do it myself. So like right now, so I just turned it, but at least on this arm, if I just move it, it won't turn on its own. On this arm, it will, which is why I decided to switch to this arm. So that's a personal preference thing. I know a lot of people, their bracelet still turns on them. I just find it uncomfortable because sometimes it would just turn in the middle of my arm, not necessarily just in the first part of my wrist. I just don't like the fact that if I'm just moving my arm, it turns on its own. I just find it uncomfortable that it's stuck there. A lot of people ask about sizing. So mine is a 15 centimeter, which is their current smallest size. I would say if your wrist is between 13 to 14 centimeter, you should probably get this size. If you have smaller wrists than that, I don't know. I know it's not impossible to have a smaller wrist than mine, but I heard that you can also order a custom smaller size, 14 centimeter, but that's really exceptional. You would really have to try for yourself. But yeah, why I chose this, I just love the thin version. I love the dainty look. I love that you can still remove it semi-frequently without damaging it too much. Rose gold looks really, really good on my skin. In fact, it looks like a gold. Maybe it's yeah, these are all rose gold pieces, by the way. Maybe it's my skin tone. It just doesn't look too, yeah, because I don't have a lot of pink in my skin. I have more of a yellow, almost green undertone. So the rose gold pops a little bit more. And yeah, I love the golds. I mean the love bracelet. So we'll see what kind of other questions you have in terms of styling. Really, I just wear it on my bigger arm and I just leave it there. And will I stack more? Maybe, maybe not. I kind of just like the dainty one thing look. In fact, before I stack another one, I would probably add another one on this arm first. So that would be like a future purchase. Not sure which one yet, because I do like the Hermes ones. In terms of style, I guess if I were to compare Cartier and Hermes, I do like the design of the Hermes one. Their sizing is a little bit more limited in North America. I know they do offer smaller sizes in other countries. So we shall see. But yeah, no regrets with this one. Plus, the price on this one is also a big plus. So compared to the version that Kat has, this one is just a little over half the price. But obviously, it's the thinner version, so you get just a little bit over. Is it a little bit over half?
A little bit over half.
18 grams or 17 grams, something like that.
A little bit over.
So maybe just a tiny over half the amount of gold. So you are paying, per gram, you're paying a little bit more, but it's still worth it because it is the look that I'm after. I did try the version that Kat has, which is the thicker version, the classic version. It just didn't give me the look that I wanted. Obviously, it looks amazing on Kat. And she has also a few other bracelets to stack with, which really elevates the whole thing. But for me, for now, having just the one, I don't know. I just love it. I don't even remember that it's there. Like, it's so lightweight.
Yeah, get used to it.
Yeah, you just get used to it.
Thank you. Okay, so I'll continue with the love since Amy's talking about love. So mine is the thicker version. And I got this pre-loved. So why did I get it? I wanted to try it out. And definitely social media is a big influence. But, after seeing so many pictures, and I already wore this bracelet. This is a nomination bracelet. I wear this all the time. I've had this on my wrist since I was 21. So I'm almost 40. So can you imagine how many years has this thing lived on my arm? I've only taken it out less than 10 times over this amount of time for surgeries and also all things like that. So I knew that I could wear a bracelet 24/7 for years and years. So I didn't have that concern about the bracelet. But I had the concern about the price because buying brand new was just so crazy. And I knew I wanted the thicker version because I felt that it complemented my other bracelet in terms of size. It's not the same, of course, but it's just that I wanted something, close to it. And then I decided to try pre-loved, and I actually got this under $4,000. No, wait, under $5,000, but $4,000.
That's better price than this one.
Yeah. But this bracelet that I got is actually the older style where the screws come off completely. So the old style, the two pieces, the two the two bands, they come off, and the screws also come off. The new version of the thicker Cartier, the screws are actually hanging on the bracelet, so they don't actually pop off. So you will never lose your screws, but they still come off in 2 pieces. So for mine, it is a little tricky to remove the screws because you kind of like have to squeeze the bracelet together, make sure you're holding it, and then you're using the screwdriver to like kind of work it in. But I do find that these screws are really tight. Like they are, you know, I mean, touch wood, I've never had any experience of them coming off. I do check on them weekly. Like when I'm looking at it, I'll use my fingernail and I'll just like turn and check. And sometimes it comes off. I'm just using my fingernail and just turning it. And you just need a little bit of adjustment. So yeah, that's how I take care of it. But in terms of pricing, it was a pre-loved piece. Because it's pre-loved, I believe the seller or maybe the owner actually brought it in for polishing. So it has been polished down one time. So it's, if I take my version and I bring it to a brand new version, you can see that my love, the edges are not as sharp compared to a brand new piece because this has been polished, which it's okay. You know, would I advise polishing for all of you, you know, because of scratches? Everybody's concerned about scratches. I can tell you, don't bother with polishing. You will lose some gold. And the moment you take it again and I don't know, keep and use, you will get scratches already. So you cannot avoid scratches. Eventually all the scratches will just look as one and you won't see it anymore. How do I style it? Just like that. I style it with one more bracelet, which is my JUC, which we'll talk about, I guess, later when Amy talks. No, Amy doesn't have it yet.
Well, I have a ring.
Oh, she has a ring. So we'll talk about her ring and then maybe I'll talk about both of mine as well. So yeah, this is the way I wear it on my dominant hand as well. And you're also wearing it on your dominant hand.
I am, yes.
Yeah.
So actually, now that you talk, can you check based on the serial? I'm not sure. Or can the store tell when was yours made? Like how long it has been around?
They can actually. Yeah. I should ask my SA, huh?
Do you know how old your piece is? No.
When was it purchased, you mean?
Yeah, I guess so.
The date is there. It's old. It's in the 2010 or something like that.
Also, like at least a decade now.
Oh yeah, for sure.
She polished it once. Okay. Because I'm just wondering in terms of like wear and tear even, right? Because mine is obviously new. I only got it in April, right? Did I get it in April? I forgot already. Like you wear every day. It seems like it's been a long time that I've had it. I don't find it super easy to scratch. I don't know if it's because I almost feel like, and I talked about it in my Q&A as well. I feel that since my bracelet is not just free flowing and not always rotating on its own, and I love the fact that it usually, you know, with gravity, it usually just rests on your arm, kind of like on your flesh, my fleshy arms. So it doesn't move, right? So when I'm typing, this part of my wrist, I still have this much space to sort of avoid the edge of the table, or even like the edge of a counter and whatnot. So I don't find that it's that easy to scratch in terms of me even having it on 24/7, which is very strange because I almost expected to have like a degree of scratches on it already, which I do. I have a few, but it's not very visible. It's still super shiny, and I know it's only been a month old, but if it keeps this way every month and it's, you know, just going to be like very superficial scuffs, I feel like mine will stay shiny for a very long time, for years to come. So in terms of people bringing in for polishing, I wonder, it must be really like a lot of wear and tear before you even bring it in for polishing, right? Is it polishing or is it?
It's polishing. They will like, you know, it's a very very superficial scrape of the top layer to polish. Like, you know, you polish silver and all. You probably, but you know, if there are scratches, I can see it. And I also wonder, is because I wear both my bracelets, they do cross over.
So you have more.
But yeah, I have more like friction, but I also do weights, gym
Right.
and all, and my hands are always like on the floor, and I'm moving my hands a lot, and it does roll. So there are many things that causes the scratches. But in terms of shine, it's still shiny, but it's
It's
scratches,
shiny, right?
Yeah,
Okay, yeah.
yeah.
Yeah,
It's
I love.
hairline. It's like it's really surface scratches. It's
Yeah.
not the deep ones.
Yeah. I just love it. I totally highly recommend it now
We
that I.
highly recommend it.
Yeah.
Highly. Okay, moving on. You know what?
Okay,
Just give me
moving
a
on
second.
to
I'm
a
gonna
second
take.
piece. So my other Cartier piece is just a ring. This is the Juste un Clou. Gonna see if it's. You can't really see it, but I'll try to just. You guys have seen my. Um. You guys have seen my Instagram, right? Oh, there you go.
Okay, don't
So
move.
that's the thin version, Juste un Clou, and this was the love. This is, I guess, my second favorite piece of fine jewelry because, so obviously this is 24/7, except maybe once a week I remove. This one is comfortable enough, and I deliberately went with the thin version because I wanted to be easily removed on this finger, which has a little bit more arthritis. So once it's on, it has a bit more room. It can still move around, but it won't come off of the knuckle. So it's actually really, really comfortable because it's so thin. So on the underside, you just have a little bit of ring. Uh, Usually with the rings, it's the underside of your rings that gets the most scuff because you're handling things and you're grabbing a cup or whatever. But I find that because these are, rounded edges, like it's just a cylinder, right? You don't see any scratches on it. There are, but it's just so invisible in a way that you can't really see it. The design, why I chose it, I just chose it for my biggest, fattest, fleshiest finger, basically. And I also chose it for comfort so that once it's on, it's not really stuck to my finger. It's not really suffocating it. It has room to move. I talked about this in my Q&A as well, where I feel like as a general rule, I find for myself, the slender the finger, the more I can get away with any size ring, the thickness. But the more fleshier your finger and the more bulky that finger is, then I feel like the more slender the ring, the best it looks. That's just
Mm.
how I feel about it on my arms and on my hands, which is the reason why I chose the thinnest ring for this finger, because this is pretty much this finger with the arthritis is actually bigger than my thumb, believe it or not. It is what it is. But that's why I chose it. And I feel like the style is just really cool. It's very understated in a way. Doesn't need a lot of bells and whistles, no diamonds, nothing like that, just rose gold. Price-wise, it's very reasonable. So yeah, I forgot to mention price. So mine's quite recent, so it's still current pricing. This one was, so add tax to it. We have, in Canada, we have, our tax rate is between 5 to 15%, depending on which province you live. I live in a province that charges 12%. So regular price, I think 5,500 Canadian plus tax. This was 1,530, I think, plus tax. So around
Still very reasonable.
1,700, I think, and this one was around 6,000 something. They are pricey, but I feel like now that I've had it for a whole month and I am wearing them and I feel the comfort and I feel the just the luxuriousness just to have it on my, even if I'm just sleeping, even if I'm just watching TV and looking at my arm, I just feel good about it. So yeah, it's very straightforward. Just really, really cool design. I do think that I am going to consider the bracelet version, but I just wanted to try the ring version just to be sure I like it. And also, I wasn't quite sure I wanted to commit to a second bracelet already, just not knowing if I liked having a bracelet on 24/7. But I think I am okay now. I think I can now. Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, I'm gonna show my ring. So I actually have. So I'm all okay. I
I
have
don't know
the
if you can
thicker
compare.
version.
Yeah, so yours is thicker.
Mine is thicker, and I got suckered in to buy the ones with diamonds. And the reason I got the ones with diamonds, well, actually no, my essay made me buy the ones with diamonds. It just looks better. It's it was my ring to start to try before I got the bracelet. Same thinking as you. I do love this ring. I feel like, as you can see, my hands are
You have very slender hands, but you're I feel like for you, because my thickest part of my fingers are in the flesh, like in the middle of my
in the
fingers.
middle.
Yeah.
I've got like I've got
This is
knuckles.
my regular hand.
See, my knuckles here are big, and then it'll be like skinny here. And I think it's maybe, I don't know why. I just have like I have scrawny fingers. I have bony hands. I have bony
Yeah,
hands.
yeah. You have
Yeah,
a
bony,
very
like you can see that bony.
pronounced bow structure.
Yeah, but then my knuckles are big. So in terms of sizing, I actually went a size up, and I'm gonna try and show it here. Let's see. Okay, can you see where the nail head is resting on my skin? Right?
Mhm.
So I'm trying to turn up. If I got my exact size, which is 51, I'm actually like a 51.5. So 51 would be, it's a good size, but it was the nail head was pressing a lot on my skin. So I actually got a 52. It still is, but it's not really, because it moves a little bit, you see? But if I got my actual size, which is 51, it will be pressing in. And though I can put it in and out, it actually doesn't feel so comfortable. So this ring, because it's slightly bigger, it does turn a little bit. But it's still okay. So what is good about this is, on days where it's hot, my hands swell up, I'm still able to wear it. And it's sort of resting, but not too much. But if there are days that are cold, the ring actually can just slip out, which is those days I just don't wear this
Oh,
ring.
that's crazy. Yeah.
Yeah. So on like today, my hands feel semi-warm-ish. Not hot, not cold, not hot, but in a little bit like, so it fits all the fingers. One, my second, my third, and then the other hand as well. It goes in and out. So where do I usually wear this ring? I like to wear it on an empty hand because it's so stand out on its own. Anything else, I'm gonna just wear another ring. It's just too much, right? So I like to just wear it on my, index finger, or even just on my third finger. So my essay actually says it's better to wear on my index finger. It looks good, like what you're doing. But for me, I just don't know. It just doesn't look balanced. So I like to wear it on my third finger like this.
Really? I like it on both of your fingers.
Yeah.
But I think for your size, because yours is the regular size, the nail head is actually even fatter than mine. Plus yours has diamonds, so it needs the space to accommodate the diamonds too, which is probably why she suggested a size up, right?
Correct.
Because mine, so I measured my finger. I actually had to go 2 sizes down. But only because I think it's a different design from yours. And also it's the shape of my deformity. So on my hands, I don't know if you can tell, it's more like on the knuckle part, there's just these 2 pointy parts of the fluid-filled joint parts. So once it's past this, which because it's fluid-filled, it's actually not hard at all to put it in. But it just has to go in without hurting it. And also once it's in, because this part is my biggest part as well, because of the arthritis, it won't come out. And it allows my finger to swell even on days that I do have swelling. The ring will still fit because, like you said, there's a bit of space right in between the nail head, just the space. So this is a great design, I feel, for people who have issues with their fingers, and a lot of us do, right? Eventually you age, maybe you have old injuries with your fingers. I feel like it's just one of those rings that are very accommodating and also a really cool design to have.
Yeah, I can imagine myself when I'm older, let's say 10 years from now. And, you can't help it, right? As you get older, your hands swell up, know, things like that. So actually, flesh thickens. So I can imagine in 10 years, I will not be able to wear the ring in these 2 fingers. I suspect I can't. but I will be able to wear it on this ring finger because it's super loose on this finger. So I expect a lot of my smaller rings now, which fit these fingers, to be able to fit my ring finger.
Oh,
See?
I don't think it would be to that extent, though.
Who knows?
Really?
10 years is a long time.
No.
I think so. I feel like my hands have gotten larger. Like if
Yeah.
of course I compare 10 years ago, I used to wear rings that are in the size like 5, really
Right.
small, right?
Yeah.
And I could wear them on every finger, but now I can't even wear it on my pinky. So I just feel like maybe over time from use,
Yeah.
because I also work out, but everything just using your hands and it
Yeah.
stiffens, it swells up. There will be some size change, unless you just get thinner and thinner, which I don't think so.
Okay,
I'm just quickly gonna talk about this because we've done so many videos. I've done so many videos on it. I will link. I'll try to remember to link everything down below. Any of the reviews, some of Amy's videos as well.
I'll
so you
send
can
you
check
a
it out.
list.
All right. So this is my JUC. I got it last year in September, just before the price increase. It is eye-wateringly expensive. Maybe I shall not say it on the live, but just go to the website, just click it and you'll know.
Yeah, the prices are online anyway.
Yeah, it's crazy. So I'm wearing my bracelets like this. So the way my essay tells me is the nail, the sharp part of the nail should be facing outside.
Oh.
It's a feng shui thing.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Cool.
Cool, right? So he said don't wear it. Is it? Yeah, let me just double check. I think so. Hang on, let me just double check that, so I make sure I got it right. Yeah, I think so. It's supposed to wear it one way. I have to look back at my picture. There's one way to wear where the nail is, one side is supposed to be for protection. So you need to put that outside. I believe it's that way. I'll have to check. We'll come back to that. I'll put a note in the video. Either the nail head is outside or the sharp part is outside. And yeah, just let it stack. Does it cross over? It does, because it just does. You can't really avoid that, even though you did buy a size smaller. So my love is 16. My love is 16. My JUC is 15. And even though it is a size smaller, it is actually about the same size. It does cross over sometimes, like this. It will. Sometimes my JUC will go to the back. I think it's common. I think it's common. And
is it? I thought that if you want to stack that, you should get the same like equivalent sizes, then it won't cross over.
I don't know. Mine does. I know some people say they don't, but mine does.
Yeah.
But mine turns, you see, because my wrist is small as well.
Yeah.
And why didn't I get a 15 for my love? Is because this is pre-love. They only had 16. So 16 is okay for me. 15 would have been better. But if I got 15 for this, I will need to buy 14 for this. Yeah, it's even at 15, I actually have to turn it. Like you see, I have to turn it. Or I have to do this, I'm actually swinging my arm quite heavily for it to rotate. But on, most, it will turn, but it doesn't really go, like a merry-go-round. I need to actually really twist my hand forcefully for them to swing. So it's swinging. It will go, but yeah. I think another question that people ask about this bracelet, the JUC, is does it hurt?
I think it does. I tried
it does a little bit, I have to admit, this nail head, a little bit like this.
It's heavy.
It does rest. It's heavy. It rests on your skin. If you're bony like me, you will occasionally wake up with a couple of bruises, like a little indentation. And if you sleep on your hand all night long, you will leave quite a long indentation in your skin. The first few times I wore it, I felt a little uncomfortable. I was like, oh, why? But I got used to it. Now I don't even think of it. In fact, sometimes I wake up in the morning like, oh, there's a bump. But this is hard, okay? If you are afraid of, okay, I'm going to take out another one. Though I'm not going to talk about this, but very quickly. I have the T bracelet from Tiffany. The other day, I tried a friend's JUC, which is the similar wired version. The JUC compared to the T is tougher. So the JUC has more, it's more like tighter. So you don't have to worry about it like overturning. The Tiffany version is very, look at that, it's very loose. I have gotten this caught in jackets as I pull it up, and it's twisted like 45 degrees out, and then I have to untwist it back so you can see it's actually out of shape a little bit.
Yeah.
The JUC one, you do need to be careful, because if you are pulling and if it gets snagged and you pull too hard, it will turn as well. But it's not as flimsy as this. So with this, I have gotten it slightly caught. Nothing. I think it would tear my jacket instead, because it's like the hook, like nothing moves. Okay, it's so solid. So if you are not so careful, I would say consider the thicker version. You know, if you're a little bit more, or like me, rushing around, sometimes you're not mindful of your jewelry. There is a benefit to getting the thicker version. So that's my sharing.
No, I have to agree, because even with the ring, it doesn't get caught very often, but maybe like twice so far. And it's very minor, because it's, you know, I notice it right away and I just undo the thing. But I can only imagine on your bracelet, it's even more like it can get caught even more easily, because it has more, well, it's a bigger nail, right? And also that's where your sleeves, you know, you go through your sleeves. Or yeah, I really like the larger version JUC as a bracelet. Just hoping that Cartier will expand their smaller sizing worldwide more readily, because I think you know, I'm sure there's always a way to order it, but it's just good if they just have it in stock so you can try it and just buy it. I hate waiting. I just don't want to. I just want to buy it if it's available.
Oh my gosh. Okay, let's go into Hermes.
Sure. Let's just talk about both rings at the same time, because I have basically both the, let me see if I can, okay. So this is the CDC, Collier de Chien, also rose gold. And then I have my Kelly one, and I stacked it with my diamond ring. But they're both very similar in width. This Kelly one, oh sorry, this Kelly one has 4 little diamonds. So I don't want to rank them like this is my third favorite, but they are kind of their, you know, this is definitely first favorite, second favorite. These are still favorites. It's just that I find that for everyday wear, for sure the Love is number one. This one is also everyday wear, super comfortable. You don't even really notice it in a way. With the thicker rings, maybe because of my fleshier fingers, you just notice them. Because with flesh, you know, and your body circulation, heat and warmth, you just expand. So like at the end of the day, it's like it takes a minute to remove it, which is why for me, they're not my everyday rings, but they are very nice. And I love the design. And in terms of, you know, intricate, very thought out designs, I feel like the CDC and the Kellys are, I don't know, they're just so iconic for the house. In terms of comfort, I find that the CDC is actually more comfortable. The ring itself, like thickness and everything, they're very similar. But the CDC, even though it looks like very intricate, it has 2 little pointy parts and a little sort of dog collar thing. It doesn't get caught on anything. Nothing. You can slide it on any surface. It doesn't get caught on anything. I'm super surprised about that, by the way, which is why I usually just, you know, between the 2 rings, I just grab the CDC ring first if I just wanted to choose one. Because I do have my regular wedding, you know, solitaire as well. So I don't end up wearing the Kelly all the time. And the Kelly on its own looks a little, like the Kelly ring is if you just compare the two rings together, the Kelly has more of a ethereal, sort of very simple, slender vibe, whereas the CDC has more of a fun, more robust look. So I actually prefer it on my right hand, which is my more arthritic hand. I chose to wear the Kelly ring on my most stable hand because that's like my most slender hand. And so it even goes with the vibe of the ring. But between the two, I would say that the Kelly, it's not that it gets caught on anything, but if you're like doing this onto the surface of your table or whatever, it will knock on the little part that sticks out. Same with the belt even, because I don't know, I know Kat, you don't wear belts, but I've owned a number of belts in my life, and anytime I go towards a counter, I always touch it. I always touch my tummy, like my waist onto the counter. I always just get very close. And it always scratches the belt buckle. So can you imagine the Kelly belt, little buckle? It will always, no matter which belt it is. So this is the similar idea. The little thing that sticks out always knocks on something, which is why I'm very, very surprised that even though CDC does look like it has a lot going on, it's very smooth. It doesn't seem to really grab onto anything or knock on many things. I get asked this question a lot between the two rings, which one I prefer and why. That's why. But I love both. They're both very beautiful for their own right.
Yeah. Awesome. Thank you. Okay, I'm going to share two of my Hermes pieces. So the first is my CDC rose gold bracelet. And I'm just going to wear it on this hand as well, because I think one of the questions we get is which, the color tone, maybe.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? I'm going to take off the JUC.
Yeah, I found it hard for me to compare because I have ring and one bracelet. They all look the same color to me. So maybe on yours it's more.
Whoa.
Yeah, you do have a yellow gold love and a rose gold
Hang on.
Hermes.
Okay, let's do this. Yep. Is that better? Should I hide my head? Okay.
Good.
As you can see, I have yellow gold. And then this one, the Hermes, is in rose gold. There is a difference in the color. You can see that it's yellow, and then the other one, there is that pinkness to the bracelet. Now, if I wear it on its own, it kind of goes with my skin tone as well, because I have both. I'm quite neutral in the sense that I have both the pinkness in my skin as well as the yellowness in my skin. But I like the way gold pops against my skin. This is more elegant, but I find this is more loud. So both goes. The rose gold in Hermes, to me, is more subtle than the Cartier. I find the Cartier's rose gold for the bracelets, it's quite pink. Yeah, so anyway, you're going to try it. I think, if I'm not mistaken, there was one that was more pink, and I believe it's Cartier. It didn't really suit me. So for Hermes, it did. So I also have, this is recent, I also have a ring. And this is the Shandong. Shandong.
Is it yellow gold?
It is actually rose gold.
Yeah, you can't tell.
Can't tell, right? The rose gold is so subtle at Hermes. So it has 27 pave diamonds. Well, it's not full diamonds, but it just gives a little bit of sparkle. And I wanted this because it's a little different from the Cartier Love, but I also wanted it to be a stacking ring. So if I were to stack, whether or not I would stack it, we'll see. But let me just stack something.
I can't seem to focus anything. But anyway, I'll just try. Oh, this is ridiculous.
There we go. So if I want to stack something, I could stack. and I'm stacking it with my Chanel ring. So I wanted something flat. I actually really like the CDC ring that Amy has, that you have. Oh my gosh, I love it. They don't have a size, so something that I will plan for the future.
Mhm.
Yeah. I wanted this something different. If any of you are thinking of the love, but maybe you're thinking, too common, something different, then you can consider this ring from Hermes. My only, I don't know about the weight. Okay, I never compared the weight, but the only thing is this does feel in the hand not as substantial as Cartier. So if I were to compare my CDC rose gold with my love bracelet, even though this has been polished, this feels chunky, solid. It feels substantial, heavy, like you're buying gold. Whereas for Hermes, it doesn't feel as heavy. But I think somebody weighed it. Was it Clara who weighed the two? And actually, the difference is not much, but it just feels lighter for some reason. I have no idea why. It feels
Actually,
lighter.
I remember Clara's video. She was because she doesn't have the full love bracelet. She has the cuff.
The cuff. That's
Yeah,
right.
so the cuff, because it's missing a portion at the back of the. So it's actually they're very similar weight or something like that. I can't remember that part. I can't remember the numbers, but that's why she was surprised that the cuff didn't weigh more than the. But I agree. I tried the bracelets as well from Hermes, and they are thinner, because even with the thin version, see the thin love, it's only thin this way, right? But there has a bit of width to it. I don't know if you can tell. It has a bit of width to it. And that width compensates in the gold. Like, you can feel the substance when you're like holding it. You're like, oh, this is a thin bracelet, and it's the smallest size, but it's weighty. I think that's why.
So for this, I mean, if I never felt like Cartier's version, I never felt it, I would think this feels pretty okay as well. It's just that now that I have felt Cartier's gold and I put them, like, I could feel like, if you put them on each other, like one of those balancing weights, it would drop like this. But it's not a lot. It's just that if you have both, you would feel it. And if that bothers you, then I would say stay away from Hermes, because it will bother you. But for me, over time, I actually really appreciate this bracelet. So I actually wear this bracelet on this is my dainty hand. My left hand is my dainty hand. My right hand is my dominant hand, which I do a lot of things. It's a little chunkier. So my left hand is the hand that I just wear almost nothing, and I just let this go up and down. And it's elegant. The color, the way it's designed, I guess the thinness also makes it softer, less harsh than the Cartier. So the Cartier, just look at it. It's so much, and I think that's why people feel like, maybe it's too much for them. It's kind of, it's a statement piece. But when you look at the Hermes, it's soft, it's dainty, it's feminine, it's pretty sophisticated. Whereas this is like gold. Okay, so I think that's all we have. So thank you, Amy. That is what we've collected over the year and a half. And if you have any questions about the jewelry, please, I'm gonna just add this. Hang on, if I can.
While you look for a question, you mentioned indentation. So I don't know. Does the love bracelet on yours have like a little nub on the inside too? No, I can't. You can't see the little nub.
Oh, yeah, it's a really small little nub.
Yeah, it's very small. It does indent on my skin too, just for reference. But it doesn't hurt. It's just there because if it's been sitting on your flesh for a while like this, it just indents anyway. It will leave that little like circle indentation on your skin, but it's fine. It'll just go away.
Okay, so let's start the Q&A now. And remember to put a bunch of question marks in front of your question so that we can see it, and I will pull it forward. Yeah. Okay, so I'm just gonna scroll up. So there's a question from Danoon. Love this episode. I've decided to wait until my local Hermes opens to start my H journey. I have several fine jewelry items interested in: bracelet, diamond, earrings. Should I go in and buy fine jewelry first to try and get a Birkin, or should I go slowly? What do you suggest? Okay, Amy, do you want to try this?
Well, now I have an opinion on that, I guess. I almost feel like so I understand this like H journey. You have to be strategic, but just from the just from the few months of experience that I have, I feel that even if you have to be strategic, because obviously you have an end goal, you also have to really you have to be conscious of and understand that you need the patience. So it's fine to buy fine jewelry right away. I just don't know if, speaking from personal experience, I just don't know if you should have the expectation of, okay, I buy a bunch of fine jewelry, and let's say you achieve a certain amount, that you are now expecting a bag. It's almost like it's a lot of pressure to put on yourself. And also, you don't know what's going to happen on the other end. Like, you don't know when Hermes is going to offer you whatnot. It will happen. It's just that I find that whether you buy your jewelry first or later is almost irrelevant. I would feel like it's better to go with the flow, because like I said many times, I show up all the time, like once a month at least, and they don't always have what I want. A lot of times they run out of different sizes, different models, styles that I want. Even the rings, actually, I was very lucky to be able to buy the Kelly ring when I wanted to buy it. It was the very last one in Vancouver, and it was actually held for a client. But that client didn't pick it up for past her due time. So they had to release the ring. They called the client to tell her that they now have to release the ring because someone wants to buy it. So I was able to purchase it. So it's just a lot of different things and factors that you cannot really predict. The only things that you can control is your own patience. And so I almost feel like it's not super relevant whether you buy it first or later or throughout. Like, just feel the flow. I don't know. Maybe Kat can comment on how she feels about that.
Fine jewelry, fine jewelry. I think you should buy what you want to use.
Yeah.
And at the end of the day, don't just buy the fine jewelry just because you think it'll get you the Birkin. It is actually what we know, okay, but what we've experienced is that you need to be a regular customer. You need to build your relationship with your SA. You need to show the brand that you are serious and you're not just in there to get the bag. Because there could be a pro and con, right? Maybe you buy your fine jewelry, you spend that chunk of money up front, and then they'll feel you might get your bag. Who knows? That could be the pro. But what if you don't, and you spend a huge chunk of money? It will put a lot of stress on you as well, because in the first place, you didn't want to buy it. Or you didn't want to buy it first. You're not ready to spend that kind of money. Yeah, you know what I mean? So I think you should let the experience come naturally. Don't think so much of the bag. I know all of us are thinking of the bag because we want it like the first time, but I think it's important to buy the things that you will want to use, that you're ready to buy, and no regrets if you don't get your bag.
That's at least the mentality that you have to have.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because you will go crazy.
Yeah, because as it is, even if a lot of you have patience, I want to say that I have patience, and even I can be like, one day I have patience, the next day I just wish that I have the bag now, but that's just all happening in my head. Like nothing is going on Hermes side, so you can't control that side, right? So just really, yeah, buy what you absolutely need and love, and yeah, really go with the flow.
Mm, mm.
Yeah.
Whether
And then,
I think another part is whether or not you should buy fine jewelry.
mm,
Uh, we suspect that there is some truth to the whole, being, making sure you spend in all categories, but we actually really don't know, right? We don't know. But fine jewelry it is, one of the pricier items in Hermes. And yeah, it is lah. So you can't be buying just SLGs and expect to get a bag, right? So anyway, whether or not it's the right thing to do, possibly.
I feel like fine jewelry is also a good idea to buy, only just because of the feelings that we were just describing earlier, how it makes you feel when you wear your items. It's
Mm.
irrelevant from the quota, from the limit, the bag, blah blah blah. It's so irrelevant from that. It's just how you feel about the pieces that you're wearing, which is why fine jewelry is such a it's a very interesting category, because yes, it is one of the more expensive category, but it also makes you feel great. So it is actually a good idea to buy fine jewelry, in my opinion, as long as the
Mm.
piece fits you and suits you, right? They have so many, like they have necklaces, earrings, and they have so many bracelets actually. And like I said, their designs are very intricate. They're very interesting. Nothing. I wouldn't say that's groundbreaking or anything, but they are true to their inspiration behind the heritage. So that makes it special. Yeah.
Okay, we hope you answered that, or at least give you some idea. Because don't be stressed. Like straight away go and buy. If any of you have opinions, also let us know. Anna,
Oh,
okay.
Brianna.
Nothing.
I'm from
Okay, do you have
Vancouver.
nothing to do with jewelry, but thoughts on the mini walk?
Oh yeah,
Hmm?
we talked about the mini walk a few times. I think the mini walk is the thicker version of the walk, but just slightly smaller width-wise. Um, yeah, I'm pretty sure you liked it a lot, right? Because it's
I
kind of
did.
like it can fit quite a bit because you can
Yeah.
stuff a lot. It's just that if you have a Max phone, it will bulge out from the sides where the gussets are. So, are you okay with that? I think nowadays I tend to almost wonder if it's too small, because I am a mini bag person, but even for me, I have a limit as to how mini my bag should be. I feel like it should not be smaller than a mini flap. That's my personal opinion. Uh, do you still like the mini walk? You've tried it
I
a couple
do.
times.
I never got to try it because it
Oh
was,
no?
yeah, it was only
Oh.
it was sold out very
Mm.
quickly, and they did they reintroduce it? I think they didn't reintroduce it in the version that I wanted, which is black gold caviar. So I never actually got a chance to see it. But looking on the reviews on YouTube, a lot of people like it, and because it's thicker, it expands wider. And my issue with the mini walk is that it was always too thin. So the thickness is a pro for me, but also can be a con because it can be quite chunky. But I liked it. I thought it was like the possibly a good answer to the walk. I think it's okay. All right, good question. Let me get another one. Lira, hi ladies. What are your thoughts on the JUC bracelet in the thinner size and the Love BB bracelet? BB is what?
I don't know. Love BB? Not sure.
Not sure. But you've got some thoughts on the JUC, thinnest one?
Yeah, so the thinner version, like I said, I did try it. The essay tried it on me. She actually stacked it with this, and she actually stacked it on here. Like she didn't stack it here, she stacked it here.
Oh.
Yeah, it was a was it? I'm pretty sure I'll have to look at my pictures again, but my initial first impression was, oh, compared to the Love, it's so lightweight, it's so flimsy compared to the Love, obviously. And it was first impression. And I saw her because she was using both hands and she was trying to maneuver around my wrist while this bracelet was already on. So I was like, oh, it just looked kind of weird to me, the way that she had to bend around. So the flimsy part is, kind of scared me a little bit. Plus, I wasn't ready to commit to a second bracelet right away. However, I still see it a lot on Instagram, on YouTube, unboxings. I see it on You Girls. Isabel has a thinner version. It looks amazing. And I've gotten a few feedback from some of you as well who told me that you've been wearing yours for a year or two. You wear it 24/7. You've never really had any issues with the durability of it. So that really reassures me. And now that I've had this for, at least a month now and wearing it constantly, I am getting more and more comfortable with the fact of having a bracelet on 24/7. So I'm even more open to the idea. Now, in terms of, if you want to get into the very nitty-gritty, like, is it worth the price? Yes and no, because it's so relative. You are paying for the design. I feel like the Love, you're really getting everything. You're getting, the design of the bracelet. You're getting a hefty bracelet. Even the thin version feels very significant. And the price is reasonable considering their regular version. So if you, kind of look at it from that way, but because they're giving you solid gold for this one. Whereas the JUC thin version is a hollow version of the regular JUC. So you're actually getting a fraction of the gold. You are paying basically for the design, for the elegance that is a thinner version, because a lot of people don't like the very statement, very heavy duty look. And it doesn't suit everyone. Like, I don't know how to say it. Like, I did try Kat's version, the exact size that she has. And it doesn't look as good on my arm. Like, it just doesn't, okay? I cannot make it in any other way. Like, I cannot transform my arm, right? I cannot make it more muscular or more bony. It is what it is. So, I either got to build more muscles around my arm, a few more lines, or I don't know, have some, there's just no way it goes on my arm.
Look at my forearm. I've got a thin wrist, but I got a very large forearm.
Yeah,
I grip things
I think it's also the rest of my hands. It doesn't really go with the vibe. I don't know. When I tried it, I just didn't like the vibe that it gave.
Yeah, you gotta feel it. You gotta like the feeling. Yeah.
Yeah, but I do like the bracelet. So I almost wondered if they made more sizes, being even more inclusive, then the game could change. And I don't know, maybe even just the design of the nail head slightly smaller. That's also something. I don't know. So I'm not completely saying no to the thinner version because I do like it from afar. I will just have to try it again. Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Good sharing. Thank you. I tried it. I mean, I ended up with this, so you know my thoughts.
Yeah.
Okay, Shanna, between Cartier, Hermes, and VCA, which one do you first recommend? Say if to get a bracelet and a ring. Also, which is more worthwhile? Bracelet and a ring. This is preference,
It is, but I almost have to say it's Cartier.
Yep, I agree.
Especially for bracelets. They as many bracelets as Hermes has, they have their very like you said, it's just a very more dainty look. And Cartier has more to choose from. They can make their classic, very statement bracelets into a more dainty look as well, because now they have the thin versions. So you actually can choose between the classic, the thin. And It's super comfortable. Their sizes are more inclusive. I would say Cartier myself.
Same, I agree. I think the selection at Cartier is so much more between Cartier and Hermes. Then with Cartier and VCA, VCA also has a lot because both of them, I just found out that they're sister companies. So both of them are jewelers. I think with VCA, it's a look. It's a girly, feminine, kind of projection, right? Because it's flowers and butterflies and ladybirds, that's all that kind of semi-precious stone. So then it comes down to which do you prefer? Therefore, it will make it more worthwhile, right? So if just talking about the brands, I think Cartier first, and then of Cartier and VCA, right, before Hermes. Then between the Cartier and VCA, it becomes down to preference. Which do you like in terms of the look? I know people who love VCA, they're like, VCA, it's so good quality. And it's beautiful. I saw a friend with the necklace and the opal, like a pendant. The necklace is like sparkly. It's so pretty. But that's how I get from it. I get this whole so pretty. So if you're going for the so pretty look, I would say VCA is the one to go for.
Yeah, and mix and match. The first time I tried Cartier, I didn't like anything. Maybe you just haven't tried the piece that suits you yet. Because at the time, I didn't try anything that suited me. This time, I finally found what suited me. And it's not to say that Hermes is no good, because I also love a lot of Hermes pieces. Their rings are fantastic. If you want to look for rings and you don't like any of the Cartier, because Cartier rings, they are more simple. I think aside from just un clou design, the love ring, it's a little simple in my opinion. So I find that ring-wise, Hermes is fantastic. They have so many. Yeah.
True. So, that's a good point. That's a good point.
Yeah.
Okay. Here's from Ambelieve. How do the gold pieces compare between Hermes and Cartier? On a different note, I received a Kelly Cellier, 25 Cellier in Noir from the boutique, and I love it. Wow. Big congratulations.
Yeah, big congrats.
Congrats. Okay. How do you compare the gold pieces?
How do the gold compare?
In terms of weight, I think.
Yeah, I think what you said earlier, in general, Cartier just feels more substantial. But some Hermes pieces are also substantial. Like I said earlier, between the CDC ring and Kelly ring, CDC is a ring. Like, I love this ring. I think a lot of people love this ring for that reason. It's once you try it on, it doesn't look like much when you just look at it. But once it's on your fingers and you feel it, and yes, I did happen to weigh both rings, even though they look very similar width and everything. The CDC actually weighs more by a whole gram. So, well, I don't know if it's really a whole gram because my scale doesn't go to the decimals. It's only by the gram, but it was showing 1 gram more than this. So, you're getting a bit more substance too. I mean, you are getting diamonds on the Kelly, but it just goes to show that not every single piece is dainty and not weighty. Some of them can be more weighty than others. Yeah. At the end of the day, just go with what suits you, because it doesn't matter if it's more weighty, less weighty, more elegant, more chunky. If it doesn't suit you, I don't know why you would buy it, Yeah.
Yeah, I wouldn't buy VCA. I mean, if I were to buy VCA, it's a very selected piece, like something that may not have any of the semi-precious stones. I do like them. I love looking at them, but I know I can't. They're a little bit too feminine for me. Yeah, and also your lifestyle matters with the VCA. You need to be more mindful, meaning you need hardworking as well, right? If you wear the necklace, you must make sure you take it off before you shower, things like that. So I do consider that as well, because I shower with full gold. I don't take it off, but because it has semi-precious stones, you need to take it off because it's porous. Yeah, so your lifestyle also is something to think about when you buy pieces from certain jewelers. Okay, Shanna, does Cartier Hermes have any warranty on their jewelry? I
don't know about Hermes.
don't know about Hermes. I do know that Cartier, it's not a warranty, but if you do find any fault in your item, you can go back to Cartier, and if it's, and they will what do you call it, like analyze, check it,
Yeah.
and they will come back to you if it was like, factory fault or whatever, and they'll fix it for free. But of course, if it's you damaging it, obviously you'll have to pay. For Hermes, I actually don't know if they have a warranty. But my essay did tell me, please do not treat your Hermes as your Hermes jewelry pieces like your Cartier pieces. He actually told me that, and I laughed. He said, please don't go banging it around because they are, it's gold. Yeah, it's gold, but it's made very, very delicately. It's not like this. So he did say, please don't go and bang it around, because if it damages, it will cost you something to repair, or they cannot fix it or whatever. But they will check it, I guess. But it was kind of funny. He told me, please don't go bang this around like how you're banging this around.
I almost feel like Hermes, because of the aesthetics of their designs, it's like their costume jewelry but made with real gold. It's not really costume jewelry, but just the way it is designed almost gives me that feeling that it's just a very delicate, it's still everyday, you can still wear it every day and it won't tarnish because of the material, but it's still so pretty and delicate. It's almost like VCA. Would you really want to wear it to the shower and all that? No, you have to treat it like costume jewelry.
Yeah.
A little bit less to the degree of actual costume jewelry, but you have to remove it before shower. You have to put all your lotions and perfume and everything before you put on your pieces. It's not as robust as just plain gold, where you can just hop in and out of the shower, do whatever, like go to the gym, all those things, right? You have to treat them with care too. So yeah, I never actually asked about warranty. No, I didn't even ask about the Cartier warranty. I just know that she told me that it's lifetime. You can bring it back in at Cartier, they will clean it. Lifetime.
Yeah. Lifetime, you can take care of it. That's the service you get, man, from Cartier. You're paying for that as well. Okay, I have a question here. Unbelieve again. Has anyone purchased Chanel fine jewelry? I've never heard of anybody talk about, but you are considering the Coco Crush. So I actually have 2 Coco Crush rings. I have the small version and the mini version. So yeah, I love my rings. I don't know what to talk about the rings, but yeah, these are unique to me. And then I think I like it because of the quilt laser cut. I never actually really explored Chanel's fine jewelry, but this intrigued me. I saw it on Clara. Clara was trying it, and I thought, wow, that's really pretty. And the price point for the mini was good. It was below 2,000. It was 1,000 something. So, and it's actually really substantial compared to the small. The small, let me just bring it up close. You can see. Let me just share it. Can you see? Is it focusing?
Not yet. Can you describe it for us?
Okay, it's like hollow. It's like a rim.
Oh.
Right? It's hollow inside. Whereas the other one, it's actually solid.
Oh. Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's not a rim, like a car rim. The mini, the small is like a car rim. Let me just try and do it.
Now that you said it, I can see it, because I can see a little bit of the ridges.
Yeah. Can you see? Yep. So because of that, there's the benefit of that is when you wear it, it's actually very comfortable. Because if it was solid on the inside, you would feel it squeezing your flesh. But because it's hollow, it actually feels as if your flesh is you
Has
know,
space to
going
breathe.
into the gap. So it's actually really comfortable. But the mini, that it's not hollow, it's actually solid on the inside. You see, it's solid, right? It's one piece. Because it's thin, it feels really good. It's like smooth into your finger. So yeah, I really like these rings. Would I add more? I honestly don't think I would, unless they come up with a very special piece. I'm not familiar with Chanel's fine jewelry. I have a friend, the same girl. She has a pair of like Chanel earrings. These like Coco Crush earrings, something like this. They look really nice. So maybe one fine day.
Is the
Right.
white gold one that you have, the thin one, is that rhodium plated?
Yes.
Nice.
Nice, right? It's really pretty.
Yeah.
Okay, so I'm gonna go down. So you've been enjoying this. Don't forget to give us a like on our channel. Oh, thank you, Jojo, for the super sticker.
Oh, thank you,
Oh,
Jojo.
Joe
Joe
overjoyed.
overjoyed. Sorry, not Jojo.
Thank you so much. Appreciate it. Oh yeah, if you're in Singapore, hang on. We're in phase 2, heightened alert. So dining in. Yeah, dining in is no longer allowed. Takeout only. Malls are just having like controlled crowd. Boo-hoo, boo-hoo. Work from home is now default. Boo-hoo, gyms are all closed.
But
Okay,
it's better to control it early before it gets out of hand, right?
that's true. All right. My luxury stories. What do you think of the Cartier Love in the cuff version? We have Clara here. So, Clara, what do you think of the cuff version? I think it's good actually. I think if you love the love, but you can't commit to wearing something 24/7, the cuff is actually a better alternative.
Actually, I can comment on the cuff because I also got the recommendation from Clara to try on the cuff the first time. And the reason why I didn't like it is because the cuff sizing doesn't go. I think the smallest size they have was it? I think it was the equivalent of a 16. And so with me, my wrist, because the cuff has a little gap where you put the
Mhm.
bracelet on. So for me, it would always keep on, like that gap would always keep on just getting caught onto my wrist like this. Like the bracelet is like getting, because like I
Oh.
just move my arm and it just gets caught like this. So well, first of all, it's uncomfortable because like you have the two sides of the, the ending of the cuff like literally like this on my flesh. And that's not the look that I want. I don't want my bracelet to sit like this. I want it to sit like this. So yes, it's a great alternative. I so wanted to be able to buy the cuff, but the sizing was not as inclusive at the time. Don't think they are still. But it is a much better price. I have to agree. It is a much better price if you want that same thickness as the regular Love. And if it fits your wrist shape, then it's fantastic. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay, so Clara's got a sharing here. Yeah, you may want to try it in store. It will flip from time to time, but it doesn't fall off and doesn't bother her. But you need to size up for the cuff versus the bracelet. Okay, thank you for sharing that. All right, we've got a question from Joyce. Do you think the thin JUC will twist like the Tiffany's, since the thin version is not solid gold? So like I said earlier, I played around with the thin JUC. Compared to the Tiffany, the thin JUC is more solid. So you do need to you need to actually press it for it to turn. Compared to the Tiffany, which is very, very flimsy. Both are also hollow, but this is it's like I can just like that, you see? Whereas the JUC version, you do need to hold it and you need to turn it. There is a bit of extra pressure that you need to apply. However, you still can twist and it is not solid. So if you damage the JUC, they cannot repair it. That is what my essay said. I cannot verify this 100% if anybody has damaged it and figured it out. But my essay said, be careful with the JUC one. Don't let it go out of shape, because once it's out of shape like this, it's really, really hard to repair.
I can totally see it happen. Like, it's not impossible to damage it, basically. And yeah, I almost wonder, is it better to wear it alone on a wrist or stacked? Because if it's stacked, then it just stays. No, how does it work? Is it better if it just stays, has less room to move versus the whole arm? I don't know. I don't know. I have to try it.
For the JUC, it shouldn't move so much. The thin version.
Right.
I just feel like you want it to be there, right? Maybe some movement, but don't let it be rolling up like this, because it can get caught in things. I just have this feeling that it will be better as one, it should be like my nomination bracelet. It doesn't really move too much, little bit, but not too much. Just, I don't know.
And I wonder if it should actually fit you tighter. So that it stays, even the nail head is just right around where your wrist is and not so open where there's so much gap in between. I don't know. I'm just imagining it right now. Yeah. Because it's
anybody has it, let us know. Anybody got a thin one, let us know how it has been so far. Have you ever get it like caught in a sweater so hard that there has been some twisting?
Yeah.
Yeah. My hand in the cup. Okay. Question from Lira again. Would hand sanitizers do damage to your fine jewelry rings?
Don't think so. I mean, I sanitize my hands while my rings are on, and it's fine.
Yeah, same.
Yeah. I think aside from like really, really like harsh acid, what can really damage fine jewelry? I wonder. There's not really that many things that can damage it.
Yeah. Okay. This is an interesting question from Marie. Would it be too much wearing a JUC ring and bracelet in regular size? I actually think yes. I rarely wear my JUC and this together. It's to me, it's overkill. Which is why, because I wear my JUC so much, I rarely wear this. But if I decide that I want to wear rings for the day, I actually remove my JUC now. I'll take it off, or I will wear it on the other hand. But then this hand will just be nothing, just this ring, and I'll just leave it on its own. So it's like, to me, it's like far apart.
What if they're on separate hands?
Or separate hands. But I rarely do it. I just feel like it's a lot. But that's a personal thing. This is a personal thing. Some people don't feel it's a lot, but I just feel it's like a lot. What do you think, Amy?
I don't know. I feel like maybe because you have the regular size, so I see her question, but I wonder if the small size would be okay, because the nail head on this is so discreet. You don't really feel that it's so...
Look at me!
Maybe because your bracelet, you really can see like, oh, bang, it's there. And the nail is there and the head is there. It's like, it's so loud.
It's so loud. I know I'm loud, but I'm not that loud.
You don't need anything else. You just need that bracelet there.
Oh my gosh. That's the thing about Cartier pieces, right? They are statement. So when you have so much statement, it becomes too much. That's how I feel about it. So when I wear my JUC, and I wear this all the time, I just feel this is enough. I don't need to wear my watch anymore. I'm just, cool. My earrings, nothing. But when I start to stack other things, I wear my, earrings and I wear other rings, I start to feel very heavy on this hand. then I'll start to remove my JUC because it's so much already. Anyway, it's a personal preference.
I guess it's like it's similar, but you know, when people ask, oh, is it too much to wear, you know, say a Gucci belt and then a Marmont bag at the same time, something like that, along the lines of that.
Mm.
Maybe,
Yep. Maybe.
but you know,
I guess you get used to it after a while.
Yeah.
You don't see it anymore.
yeah.
I guess. I'll let y'all know if I start to wear everything together at the same time. Okay, Joe, do you think if another person pays for your purchase, whether it will count towards your Hermes profile for your quota pre-spend? May request a H gift from hubby.
Do they? I don't know, because don't you have to just check out depending on which account you check out from?
Yeah.
I've always just bought my own thing, so I really don't know. But if your hubby goes with you and you're shopping together and he happens to hand her the credit card but paying your purchase on your account, I'm sure that counts.
Yeah.
Right?
I think that makes sense.
Yeah.
It should count on your, unless it's on a separate account. So it's
Yeah.
on your hubby's name, then I think it doesn't count. So it's hubby's account, wife's account, two separate accounts. I
Mhm.
think it doesn't.
Yeah, I don't think
I
it
cannot
does.
verify, but I mean, it only makes sense that it shouldn't.
And plus, they have this new thing now, right? I don't know if they are completely implementing it, but I heard that they don't allow, say, husband and wife both getting offers. If
Yeah.
you're in the same household, it's just one offer. You can't have wife has offer and then husband tries to get his offer too, even though they doing their journey, let's say, right? I don't think they will allow that too much going forward, or if at all, if they have started already. Not sure how they will implement it, honestly. But
yeah, I
they
don't
have
know how
their
they're going to
ways, I guess.
implement that. Somehow they'll find out that this is your hubby,
Yeah.
and then you'll know that one couple household, you only can get like one bag. I don't know. I think I've heard of this as a rumor. Don't know how they're going to implement it, like what you said. Oh, we got another
Well, for us, they
sophisticated-
check your ID card every time. So I'm sure if you see that you're in the same address, then they will just assume that you're the same household.
Right. Okay. Thank you, and believe. Appreciate
thank
it.
you.
Okay, I'm gonna pick another one. Okay. This one, just kind of quick answer for this. Kat, for the love of bags, Kat, did you buy your Hermes fine jewelry before or after? So I bought before and after. So I continued to buy after my Birkin, and I also bought before my Birkin. So yeah, I think one thing good for me is that I really started to enjoy fine jewelry way before this whole Hermes thing. So I didn't have that. Our first question was, should I go in and buy? I think I already wanted to explore it.
Oh, I see the comment after that. It wants me to show
Okay.
the ring from the side. Ah, it's so hard to.
Oh, there we go. Don't move.
There, it's like that. Like a little knot.
Like a little knot. It's beautiful.
Yeah.
Wow.
So
It goes so well with your
stack
wedding
it
band.
together with my own diamond ring.
Very nice. Very nice.
Sorry, you were saying. I didn't want to interrupt you. I just saw that comment.
Oh no, I'm done. Yeah, I bought it before and after, so I have varieties of more things that I want to get. Okay, I'm just going
Honestly,
down.
their things just get addictive.
Yeah, ayo, expensive. No, they're gold.
I know.
Oh, okay. I see one that says. All right, here we go.
See if I can do this hand too.
Okay.
Hi. Can you focus?
Oh,
There, see how
Wow.
flat it is, and it's a rounded shape, so it doesn't feel like it gets caught on anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
And it's
and it looks
lower.
like
I feel like it's
yellow
lower.
gold on me. Oh my goodness, it's rose gold. I swear.
Yeah, it looks like yellow gold on you,
Yeah,
huh? Let me bring it. Where is my
yeah. It's just my jewelry just looks like yellow gold on me, but they're all rose gold.
look at this. This is rose gold. Can you see it's pinky?
Yeah, I'm sure
Wow.
the lighting is not the best, and it keeps changing my skin tone to pink to white to pink to white, but it is definitely rose gold. And I love that these rose gold pieces, they don't look like that they don't look like they don't look like cheap rose gold. It just looks like very pretty gold. Very,
Yeah.
very pretty with a touch of pink in it. Yeah.
Okay, we've got this question from Shanna. For these luxury brand jewelry, isn't a real gold, as in those gold from goldsmith shops?
Mm.
I had this debate with myself for the longest time. We absolutely know that you are paying 10 times more premium than the gold at the goldsmith shop. Then it's down to preference, I guess. But I also find that goldsmith shops, like the real goldsmith shops, they don't really have designs like that. You could probably get somebody to customize it for you. Yeah, it's not
Well,
not unheard of.
I'll show you a ring of this is like goldsmith shop, right? So this is a very reputable fine jewelry in Hong Kong. And
How Fo.
is it Zhou Daifo? It's either Zhou Dai. Yeah, I think it's Zhou Daifo. So it's so pretty. I got this as my wedding gift. I got a few pieces as my wedding gift, and it's also rose gold. It's actually rose gold and white gold, and it's so pretty. It looks very substantial, right? But it's
Mm.
super thin. Let me just turn to the side. Look how thin it is.
Oh, yeah.
It's super thin, super lightweight. It still has substance because obviously it's real gold. It's a real 18 karat gold as well, and it's a very pretty design, like very Asian, very like delicate design. And it's one of my favorite rings. I still obviously wear it. But it's different when you compare it to these pieces. These are like, yes, we say that they're, even for Hermes, we say that they're more delicate, but even with their more delicate pieces, they have more substance. They are thicker. You
Mm.
are paying a lot of money, and a portion of it goes towards the branding and the marketing and everything. But they are giving you substance though. So that's almost like, I feel like that's some of the differences. It doesn't mean that you cannot get really beautiful jewelry at your local shops. You can. They look amazing on, and you can still wash your hands, sanitize, all those things. Um, but it's different. It's different. I think as a jewelry collector, you'll have a bit of both, because I have a bunch of
Mm-hmm.
local goldsmith stuff. But I just want to wear these ones more. I don't know how else to explain it. They just feel good. They feel substantial. They feel heavy on your hands.
Yeah. I think for me was that I struggled with this because you know that you're paying like a lot, okay, significant premiums. It's like buying my Longchamp bag and buying another bag from LV. Okay, it's the same. You know that significant difference. But when I got my love, even though pre-loved, I really enjoyed it. Like internally, internally, not out there showing off, but internally, I really like, OMG, that is nice. I have some other like bracelets from my wedding. Yeah, they're gold, but they're things that I would, pass down to my children kind of thing. It's that kind of generational gold thing, but I will wear them. They're just not modern, or don't know what's the right word. But anyway, goldsmith shop and what you get from the luxury houses, I think there's that different, the feeling. Who knows? Maybe it's just up here. Actually, before I forget, I'm gonna read out a question and I got this from via IG. I was chatting with a IG person, and she was saying, wait, let me just find IG person, Dana. Okay, she's got a question, and I told her, I said, I don't know this answer, so we're gonna ask everyone here who may have the experience. She bought a Birkin in I'm gonna say the color. She bought it in like blue nude. It's a midnight blue color. Beautiful, beautiful Birkin. But that wasn't her color. She wanted a taupe, and she wanted some other brown gray color. But because they took out this beautiful blue nude color, she took it, she took that bag, and now she's having doubts. So her question is, has anyone returned something? And how was the relationship with your essay later? That's the first question. They do have returns within 30 days. But she is concerned, I guess, Have any of you done returns? How was it after or during the process? So I'm bringing this up because I told her I don't have the answer, but if any of you do, please let us know. It'll be a very interesting to know.
Yeah. Tough decision. It's like,
Yeah,
you can, but if you do it, you don't know what it means.
Yeah.
Ay.
So if the color is not right, I would say don't take the bag.
Mm-hmm.
Like if they give you a color that was not what you wanted, I think it's very important to consider that it's okay to say no. And I told her, I said, take it back. But yeah, she's got a good point about the relationship. What will happen? Okay, Miss B. Starting fine jewelry, would you do Cartier Love bracelet or ring first, or JUC bracelet? I love all, but if you had to pick one.
I have my answer. I would pick this as my first piece. This one. Because their rings, like I said earlier, it's not that they're bad, but I only really like, of their most popular designs, I really only like the Juste Clou design. And I honestly bought it because I was passionate about this design. I also wanted to try out the design. And also I knew that this was the design that would fit this finger. So it's very specific to me. But I didn't need it. Like, I could have just not bought the ring and just wore CDC and this bracelet. It's completely fine too. So I would choose the bracelet for me. The love bracelet, I mean.
Oh, mine, I don't know. Okay, I think now that I have both, okay, for sure, I think that I would not have bought the ring first. I love my rings. I really, really love my rings. But if I had to just pick what to go first, I think I would have gone with the JUC first. It's just because I always consider my nomination bracelet. So this is quite similar, but this is something that can stack nicely as well. Like, this is like my love,
Yeah.
So for me, I think I would have gone with my JUC first, and I just like it. Like, it's like, oh, it's cool. It's cool.
It is. I agree.
All right. Okay. This is a good question. Wing, do you think it's worth buying H fine jewelry at full price from the store when resellers can offer a deep discount? Good question. What do you think?
Yes and no. I feel like it's worth it if you're after a piece and you didn't care about anything anything related to building a quota for another goal, then yeah. If you like something from Hermes and you can buy it for a lot less and it's in good condition, well, satisfactory to you, why not? Because
Mm-hmm.
gold doesn't expire. So yeah, totally. But I think in my case, for instance, for the pieces that I have, it's totally worth it to get it in store because I am also using that to achieve another goal. So to
Mm.
me, I don't mind that I'm paying full price.
Yeah,
Yeah.
agreed. I think both it's exactly the same. So you answered it well. I feel like for me, if I see something at half price outside, I die. Okay. But I know that it's still very exploratory, right, at Hermes. And I do appreciate, having that experience of buying in store. Um, but not everything is worth buying in store as well. So, there are some pieces in Hermes that I know I would never buy in store. Like if I love it enough, I might actually consider looking in the pre-love market. But of course, that is because I feel maybe it's not worth it at the store. But there are some pieces where the difference, I still am okay. I think I'd rather buy it in store. Maybe I convey how I felt with my love bracelet. So though I had everything with, I mean, my love bracelet for the longest time, after I got it authenticated and all that. But for some portion of the time, I did feel like, is this real? Like there was that fear, I had the cert, I have everything, and I think because it's secondhand, there's always that little concern, unsure, until my essay helped me out and gave me the reassurance. But yeah, I don't know. Just for me, I feel like sometimes with pre-love pieces, you gotta go over that hump of, could it be a fake? Or could it be such a good fake? What have they done with the bracelet before? Because like mine was actually shaved down. It looked new, but it's actually been polished. So things like that, you'll probably have to accept if you buy things from the resale market. And the word deep discount, it really depends. Not everything has a deep discount. There are some things with a deep discount, but not all. I've seen some with maybe a 500, maybe
Mhm.
10%, 20%. So you better ask, why is there a deep discount as well?
Yeah, you're right. That too, because I have seen the secondhand market for, the Hermes fine jewelry. They're not that cheap.
There are some pieces I saw like 50% off, right? Then I wonder, what have they done with the gold? Because I know that this has been polished, means that has been polished or
Mm.
something. So you're actually, it's polished piece.
Mhm.
Of course, to us as consumers, we cannot tell, right?
Mhm.
So, okay, I'm gonna pull another one. Laura Laura Chu, I think so. Loresh. I'm sorry. I love to get a pair. CDC bracelet, rose gold or white gold. What are your thoughts?
Oh, I say rose gold.
Yeah, out of
Have I
our
seen the
preference.
white? No, I have. Not the bangles. I have tried a few of their white gold rings. Or maybe it's just my skin tone. I don't know. I wear white gold fine, just fine. Actually, I don't know. I don't have any white gold pieces. I only have platinum. So I feel like with white gold, you need a certain amount of diamonds in it to shine. If it's a plain piece of white gold, it doesn't sparkle as much as the rose gold version.
True.
Yeah, maybe
And
that's
yeah,
the reason. Yeah.
I like a bit of like, yeah, white gold. I don't know, white. I love white gold, but Yeah, maybe a mix. Get both. Okay, here's another one. We love the fact that all of you are really thinking of fine jewelry. Actually, for the longest time, we didn't really want to do fine jewelry because it was so niche. It's even more niche than bags. Wow.
Yeah,
Okay,
but
TD.
no.
CDC bracelet or love? I prefer to remove my jewelry when I get home. Maybe the cuff.
Ah. Then maybe you would like the CDC more. It's easy. Isn't it easier to remove that one?
Yeah, I
Followed by
take
the
this off all
cuff.
the time.
I mean, the cuff is just as easy, but it's just that which way do you like to remove your bracelet more? I guess. The CDC, it's on, it won't go anywhere. The cuff, I don't know. For me, it
The
didn't
cuff
work.
will get like, you your skin here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It just goes and it just gets stuck like right here in the middle of my arm. Because like I said, I have very small bones, but I have flesh. So it just goes through my flesh and it just sticks in my flesh. So
Oh, yeah, I
yeah.
know. It's not so, I mean, depends, right? Some people might not, like it
Yeah,
won't get stuck.
exactly.
It depends on the flesh on your arm.
Mm-hmm.
But if it does, then you might not like it because you always have to like adjust it.
Yeah.
Okay. MK is awake. Have you tried lesser known brands such as Spinelli Concolin?
We don't even have these.
I'm not even gonna
What?
try. Foundry, Graph, and Riposi. What about Italian brands like Pomaletto and Bulgari? Okay, I can answer the last two. I have seen Pomaletto. I love Pomalato. I love, but again, they are the ones with like semi-precious stones. They are very famous for their like rings and stackable rings. Those are expensive, actually. Like you think Cartier is expensive, Pomalato is actually really, really expensive. Beautiful, beautiful rings, very elegant. Bulgari, is it the one that is like everybody has that Bulgari ring, right? The one that's
That's the
black.
kind like they have the snake head
Ah,
design.
I like it. I like it.
Very nice, yeah.
Something different.
Let's just
Fine
say that
jewelry
I'm
is a
still too,
totally different world. Like there's so much to
yeah.
explore. Ah,
I'm still
okay.
too much of a noob, so I'm just staying in the newbie territory right now. Still
Me too.
exploring the
Actually, both of us are really newbies. Like we just stay at the peripheral of the like popular ones, and which we like, of course.
yeah.
But if you really dive into find your, oh my gosh, it's a galaxy.
Yeah, for sure.
Okay, I'm gonna let me see. I'm going to go down. Lots of comments. Okay, this is a comment, I think. Beauty Brain. I personally think the profit made on Cartier and VCA pieces is a lot for sure. The amount of gold used to manufacture pieces come nothing close to how much we get charged. Of course,
Yeah,
1000% yes.
I agree. But if you buy Cartier or Hermes or VCA, you know you're not just buying the amount of gold, right? You're not. If you're buying anything luxury brand, you're not just buying the raw material, you're buying
The whole
the
thing.
market. Yeah, you're buying everything. You're paying them that money because they can charge you that and you will pay for it.
Okay, KK loves UC. I just saw a post today that the turn lock on the Kelly ring fell off on someone's ring soon after the purchase. And Hermes said all repairs have to be sent to Paris and you have to pay for all repairs. That was
You
what
mean
I was
this little
worried
part
about.
here? It fell off?
Hmm. The turn
How?
lock.
I'm looking at the soldering. Is it just okay? Well, that is very alarming. So yeah, you better not bang this little bad boy too much on any surfaces, because, like I said, this one does. It feels like you can knock things easier for some reason, even though they both protrude just about the same amount. But this one just feels smooth, right? It doesn't catch on anything.
Yeah. MK is gonna give us some feedback and disappoint all of us. I'm going to kind of kill the myth. Cartier is widely known for not producing the best quality of gold because mass produced. More of a household brand here than truly Amazon that makes us dream.
MK, it's not fair. You're in France. You have access to everything.
That's true.
We're even lucky. We're considered lucky in Vancouver to even have a Cartier store because we don't have Cartier stores in every major city. There's none in Montreal, as far as I remember. There is in Toronto, but I don't even know. Do they have one in Calgary? Like, that's how special Cartier is to us. Like, it's not. Yeah, we just don't have everything here.
That's true. Okay, so somebody's saying, okay, this was the question when I was saying if your Cartier bracelet gets stuck, right? The Cartier JUC thin. So Vivian's saying she has the thin version, doesn't get caught in anything, but I seldom wear long sleeves, okay? Okay. I have had the thin version for over a year. It doesn't bend out of shape by just putting it on and off, but it can catch on sweaters. So if it catches and you pull too hard, continue down. Okay, pull too hard, it could bend out of shape. But the minute it catches, I am aware and I never pull it at hard. Yeah, so you have to just be mindful. I understand what she means. Like sometimes I get pulled, but because this is so tough, I'm like, oh, okay. But I can imagine if for the thin, you need to catch it at that moment. Otherwise, you keep going.
I feel like it's almost something that you have to be aware every time you put a sweater, a long sleeve on. You almost have to be mindful of just putting this arm through first and knowing that you're doing it carefully instead of just doing it as if you don't have a care. Because I think that's how I do what I do when I wear my lambskin bags. I am just more mindful. I just put it delicately on a surface. I pick it up. I make sure the underside of my rings are not scratching the handles too much. Like I literally handle it the tip of my fingers. Well, okay, not that bad, but I'm just more. I just know that because I'm wearing a piece that's more delicate, I have to be more mindful. So I assume you would have to do the same thing if you decide to get the JUC thin. Every time you put on a sleeve on this side on your arm, you would have to be careful.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So okay, this is one brand that I'm actually quite interested in, and I think it's because of Clara. De Beers. So De Beers is very widely famous, known for their diamonds. We're way more fascinated by De Beers or Harry Winston and Cartier and friends, to be honest. Actually, De Beers has beautiful diamonds. Maybe one day.
I don't even know if we have this store here. I know this brand, but I don't even know if we have it.
Do we have it in Singapore? I don't think we have it as well. Hong Kong does. I think no. I don't think so. Yep. Okay. So I see a lot of comments about the joint. Okay. So there's a sharing regarding the husband buying for the wife, right? So Jen's saying the credit card has to be in your name. Husband can't even use his credit card, even if it comes with me, so it won't count. So this is whether it will count onto. Yeah, so I think they'll just create another profile for hubby. So better to ask hubby. Better you buy it and ask hubby to pay you back.
Make it easy.
Yeah, it's not so complicated.
Yeah.
Okay, here's one for you, Amy. Amy, what's your Hermes ring size for your Kelly? I think your ring is 4.75.
Yeah, okay. So yes, my wedding ring is 475, but I took the size 50 in the Kelly because, like I try to explain, I have fleshy, so it depends on what kind of fingers you have. So for me, this part of my fingers is bigger than my joint because I have flesh here. So whenever you're dealing with a thicker ring, you always have to size up when you have fleshy fingers. So I sized up to a 50 for the thick ring. And also because I am stacking it with my diamond band. So I think for you, well, actually, I don't know how your fingers look like, but you probably just have to size up a tiny bit, I would assume. Unless you have, oh, I don't know, unless you have Kat's fingers, because Kat, she is actually slimmer on the finger versus her knuckle. Whereas my flesh is bigger than my knuckle for my normal hand. Does that make sense? So
your fingers just look nice and elongated, whereas my fingers are sort of like just,
well, that's how this hand is.
bony. Yeah, just
my
bony
regular my hand and that is supposed to be more normal looking, like my usual size hand before, is supposed to be like it actually goes from small to the thickest part, which is the meat part. Because I have the fleshy I have the fleshy kind of fingers, whereas Kat has more bony fingers.
Yeah, I have quite
so
bony
her
fingers.
bone is actually bigger than where her ring sits.
I'm just playing with all my rings. I'm just wearing my rings.
Feel like it depends for Jen. If she has similar fingers to Kat, you might have to stick with your regular size. Whereas I had to size up because now you're actually taking even more space on your flesh part. So it's like literally squeezing more flesh inside your rings, right? So I had to size up for that, if that makes sense.
Makes sense to me. Okay. So this, we got some comments. I'm just going to pull them out regarding the return, right? So LV Lover CC has a return video. I haven't watched it. So we watched it. Oh man, I swear I don't remember, but I think she returned her Birkin gold.
But there was some issue with it, right? There was some
issue.
Like, little imperfection.
Some stitching, was it?
Was it stitching or was it just the leather? Like there's something on the leather.
Yeah, I think so. Something like like something. I watched it. I still remember. It was quite a while ago, but she returned it, and then she got a new bag.
Yes.
Yeah. So okay. So here's another comment about that. She returned it, and the essay did seem annoyed. I mean, it was a gold on gold Birkin. Okay, there's a comment here that says that sell it on the secondhand market, make a profit without annoying the essay. Yeah, tough.
Yes, no, because if you sell it, it's fine, I guess. But like after you sell it, like when are you gonna get offered the actual one that you want? That is the question. It's not like you're going to get offered right away again. You have to build that history again. So isn't it better? I almost feel like annoy your essay, but try your best to explain your situation in the most polite and friendly way possible. Like, I'm sure it happens. It's not. I'm sure you're not the only one.
Yeah,
that this has happened to. A lot of us, me included, sometimes just accept things out of self-pressuring, like just fear of missing out again. You're just like, oh, I don't know. If I don't take it, maybe I won't get an offer anytime soon, blah, blah. At least if I take it now, I'll have the bag, even if it's not my color. Okay, I'll just take it.
Oh, I totally can imagine that happening in the store, like in the head, right? It's like, okay lah.
Yeah. But, you realize after you go home that it's not the right color and that you should have said no. Just tell her that or tell him that. Hopefully he'll be receptive and be understanding. I don't know. Guess more of you can comment again.
I'm just seeing if anybody else. Okay, so this is a question about, so we've got another like 5 minutes. Yeah, we'll just see how many more questions we have. So this is about the, from Lux Love Journey. You bought the Legend sandals. I've yet to test comfort, but how is it going for me? So I did did I do a review on it? No, I didn't. I shared about it. I did a video about it. I have started to wear it, and I do love them. They look so good. Like my legs really look really long and elongated, slim. In terms of comfort, I would say that if you've never worn any other Hermes shoes that are quite similar, you would find that you can feel the ground because the front bit is thinner than some other shoes. It's not thin that you'll feel every single rock, but it's thinner that you will feel the floor. Now, I swear, I haven't worn these kind of shoes, like platform shoes, for a long time. I don't know if shoes are supposed to feel like that, but when I wear my Orans the first time, I did feel like, you're wearing something pretty close to the ground. You do need to get used to it. But so when I got used to my Orans, I got used to the Legends really quickly. Like I didn't even think of it until somebody said, yeah, I said, oh yeah, kind of, yeah, I do feel it. But I think my feet have grown enough calluses for me to like resist the ground. In terms of walking time, for somebody that has not worn heels for years, I could stand and walk and go shopping and squat and sit and everything for at least 4 hours straight. So I think that's pretty good. Can I stay all day on them? Definitely not. I don't think anybody can wear heels all day, or maybe you can, but I can't. But they don't feel like there were no scratchiness. There were no rubbing at the back of my heel. My foot arch didn't hurt. So I have all these things that I could feel comfortable in them. In that, for me, that's comfortable already. But if you're looking for shoes like the Echo shoes where there's sponge and protection, can forget it. Okay, forget it. That's not your shoe anymore. So it's really hard to compare shoes. I feel like shoes are so personal.
Yeah. Well, as far as these heels, these Legend sandals, they just they just look so good. Echo,
Yeah, they look really
you
good.
cannot find that kind of elegance in their shoe. They're comfortable. Speaking of, I just bought 4 pairs of sandals. Oh my gosh. But these sandals are, oh my gosh, it's like walking on clouds. It's so comfortable. But nothing elegant about them, okay? Nothing. They just look like dad sandals. They are dad sandals.
Oh, okay. Here's one question for us. Have you guys thought about getting a tennis bracelet at all, or just stick with gold? I would love a tennis bracelet.
Yeah, same. Have I thought about it? Yeah.
I would love one. Maybe one day.
Yeah, just don't
Maybe
know
one
when.
day when I don't have any more commitments in my life, I'm retired. I'm like, chuck it all in a diamond tennis bracelet.
Yeah.
Because that's a lot of money, I think.
Yeah.
Like a lot. And with the beers. Oh. Okay. So another question. Other than Cartier and Hermes, have you considered your next fine jewelry from Bulgari, Tiffany, or the designers like LV and Dior? Chanel is exempted. I have Tiffany. I won't mind Bulgari, not LV and Dior. I'm sorry. Maybe
I think I will echo what you said. Actually, Tiffany. No, I think I'll just probably go explore the more sort of less mainstream stuff. Like, I know Bulgari is still quite popular, at least we have it here, but it's still a less mainstream than Tiffany. I would probably go that direction if I were to explore further, yeah.
Okay. I think that's all. Okay, here's the update for the Jen. From Jen, LV Lover CC had cracks.
Yeah, so it's something about the leather. It is, right?
Oh, okay, so she got another bag from her subby. Oh, that's nice. That's nice. Yeah.
Yeah, it's tough. What would you do, Kat, if you were in her position?
What if I went home and I saw like weird things on my bag?
No. If you went home with the midnight blue color.
Oh, me? Firstly, I would not have gone home. Oh, well.
But let's say you did.
Okay, let's say I did, let's say I
Yeah.
did, and then I found out that it's really not the color for me. I think, okay, two things can happen. One, I will check my relationship with my SA. I think if the relationship that I have with my current SA, I think I would say I can't accept this. I'm sorry. I would tell him I'm sorry. I know I'm going to burn a big bridge, but I think I'll take the risk because it's such an expensive purchase. Yeah, I would return it. I think I would return it. Because I know that to get the next bag from Hermes, I need to continue on being a patron at Hermes. I just cannot. Like I can't do it. So I think I will grovel back into the shop and apologize deep. So I can't. I just can't. But I will do it really
honest,
quickly.
basically, right?
I'll be honest, and I'll do it really quickly. You know, I know that with any of my returns that I've done, and I think in all my life I've only done maybe like 2, right? I'm not a person that returns things easily. So I had one item from LV. I returned it almost like within 2 days because I don't want to keep it and think about it. I just like, okay, that's it. I'm going back. That's it. Taking it back. Grovel back. I'm so sorry. So I think with this as well, I would, if I know that I'm taking something that I wasn't sure about, I'll try and stare at it for a few days, like few days at max, and I'll make a call. And if I decide to keep it and then later I feel that it's still not right for me, then I would sell it. That's what I would have done. But I would not hold until the 30-day.
Yeah.
Not for something as expensive as this. I think it's important to quickly make a decision. That's what I would have done.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
Okay.
I would probably do the same thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, even for the shoes, like I said, I took a size 37, even though my size is supposed to be 37 and a half. But it's in the spur of the moment. And also, it was not my fault, okay? It was not my fault that the first pair that I paid for was a mismatch and they didn't actually, I paid for it and then they still didn't have it. So that was not my fault, okay? But when I asked for a different color and they did have a different color, but somehow it's still, I guess because I first tried the 37, so SA brought back the size 37 in the black color. And somehow I love the shoe so much that I'm like, oh, I guess maybe it can stretch. On top of that, SA kept saying, yeah, it will stretch. I'm like, okay, I guess I will take it. But I took it home, tried it in the evening again, and I'm like, no, there's no amount of stretching. This will fit my feet. No, there's no. So I texted him immediately the next day. I'm like, oh, you know what? I really don't think that it will stretch enough for me. So unfortunately, I'll have to bring it back. I was like, no problem. I know we're just comparing shoes now. The shoes are not that big of a deal. But yeah, don't delay too much.
Don't delay.
Yeah.
Do it quick. You know, if you make up your mind, like. But I also have to add that she is in the States. So being in the States, I feel like you have a very, I'm jealous of it, but I think you have a more relaxed and acceptable return policy. Too. Yeah. So maybe it's okay.
More understanding.
Yeah, more understanding. But here returns are, I don't know. It's not common. I feel from personally, I don't hear of it very often. We find it very difficult to do returns. And it's not common practice.
I totally know. In Asia, it's just almost frowned upon to return. And I feel like for Canada, for regular things, you know, the Gap, all those things, it's fine. They have open policy, no questions asked almost. But for luxury, they are more stringent. They are closer to how Asia is. Like, even though you're allowed to return, or actually you're not even allowed to return at Chanel, you're allowed to exchange. So even though you're allowed to do that, let's say, it's frowned upon and it looks bad on you, even sometimes if it's not your fault. I was even told that. I was like, I know it's not your fault, but on paper it looks bad. I'm like, are you serious?
Yeah.
I'm like, that's why I try to limit as much as possible anything that might look bad on paper, even if it's an exchange, even if it's not my fault because they didn't have the item and they had to refund me. I want to avoid those things, which is why a lot of times, like I say all the time, I only buy if it's in stock. I don't bother with prepaying.
Yeah.
I tried once, it didn't work, so I don't bother with that anymore. I just buy if it's there, I buy it.
Yeah.
And I try my best to make the least possible mistakes in terms of decisions. Like I said, every time I settle, it's never a good idea.
Agreed. I think the I'm not sure how it is in the States. Like when I buy something from LV now, or well not now lately. Well, oh yes, actually now when I get a receipt. So last time when I buy something on the receipt, they'll ask you to check everything, and you actually sign on the receipt to say that you accept the bag in perfect condition. You have checked it. You are actually signing on that receipt to say that you have checked. The customer has inspected the bag and there is no da 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 da. So you're not just signing the credit card slip or whatever slip. You are signing to say you have inspected the item in its best condition and and you are taking it. So 2 or 3 days later, you come back and you say that, oh, I saw a crack. Actually, that's why they said, hello, you signed on checking. So if you're in Asia or Malaysia, I think returning is something that is not common. Actually, we just don't do it. It's starting to build, but all these years, like my whole generation and my parents, we never return. We buy. There's no second thought about it. Which is why I was telling her, I said, if you can return and your heart is not into it, quickly do it. I would do it if I can. But in the first place, I wouldn't have taken it.
Yeah. It's
okay. So this is I will just take up one more before we end. Joyce is saying, isn't the risk of you returning the B&K and burn that bridge? Then you keep buying from your SA and your SA doesn't ever offer you another bag. I think that's why we have that fear. But considering it's such an expensive purchase, I think you need to do what's right for you, right? And if your essay is just like threatening you, I think that's not right, lah. Because you're the customer. I don't know.
Yeah. All this mind game. Just buy pre-love. I'm just kidding.
Okay. All right, we're past already 10 minutes. So thank you to everyone for all the questions. Wow, a lot of fine jewelry questions. We will have another topic next week on Amy's channel. So make sure you subscribe to both of us. Before you go, don't forget to give us a like. And yeah, we will see you next week. Bye.